Here we are finally in 2024, might I say. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm usual host Terry Kahuma on this channel, and today we're going to discuss and give a recap about 2023. But in specific, we're going to talk about how to handle yourself in violent situations. A number of violent situations happened in the year of 2023, and it was a very enigmatic year, meaning it was a puzzle. But in today's video, let's discuss exactly how to handle yourself in a violent situation or in an altercation. How does one legally handle themselves? And we're going to give different examples from all over the world. So in today's video, we're going to discuss how to handle yourself in any violent situation moving forward in 2024, giving a recap of 2023 and learning lessons from it. So welcome Simply Legal, and let's go.
Oh my goodness.
You had absolutely no right to do that.
You do know the repercussions of your actions right now, right?
Is that you give me my phone back.
I'm gonna give you a chance to apologize because I'm about to go crazy. You can apologize right now before I do something.
I will apologize after you give me my phone back.
Okay, so you're not gonna apologize, right? Right?
After you give
right?
my
Right?
So she's not gonna apologize.
Right?
Oh my god.
Exactly what you deserve.
What in the world?
Next is me.
You just
Next
hit
is
a
me.
woman?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Oh.
You wanna hit a man? You wanna hit like a man? You wanna hit like a man?
Oh my
You
goodness.
hit bit like a man. Hey, sit down. Sit
Y'all
down.
both can get it.
All right.
No, you had no business accusing my man of stealing.
Exactly.
You had no
And
business
you wanna-
doing that. Then
Exactly.
you put your hands on
Exactly.
him. You deserve everything you got.
Right.
I cannot believe you think it is okay to hit a lady.
You just hit me. What are you talking about?
No.
You hit me. What do you think was gonna happen?
Welcome back to Simply Legal. My name is Terry Kahuma, the usual host on this channel. And first of all, for those who are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, share these videos with everyone who you know is going to love legal content everywhere. Simply Legal is a channel that simplifies the law for you creatively. Now, Happy New Year, everyone, like I said, and let's go straight into the point. Let's start with number one. I found this a bit disturbing, but recently I was scrolling through the internet and I landed on this very disturbing video. This gentleman was a black man seated with his wife on a flight. They had boarded a flight going to wherever they were going to, and in front there was a lady called Karen. Now a Karen, I don't know whether her name is actually Karen, but the term a Karen is also known as a white woman who is normally giving out a lot of information about black people, and normally it's in a racist kind of way. So a Karen is someone who shouts out black people or who reports black people maybe being in a rich neighborhood, or they don't deserve to be in first class of a certain let's say flight. Or a Karen is basically someone who is normally an old white lady or a white lady who normally makes life difficult for people. So you're going to see in a brief moment, this particular video, this gentleman was sitting with his wife. The white lady stood up, went to the toilet, and came back and found that she didn't have a phone on her. She automatically blamed the black man who was seated behind her, and just as she was accusing him of theft, number one, she then also went on to slapping him. Now, that was a very, very bad situation, and I'm going to describe everything later on. I'm just giving you the brief facts now. The black man actually, at that point, told her that, you know what, I'm giving you a chance to apologize because you've hit me for no good reason. He kept telling her, you know what, you need to apologize, you need to apologize. He asked her about 5 times, so you're not going to apologize? Eventually, he slapped her back. Now, a very huge altercation happened, and then that's when people began recording with their phones. Now, I want to describe how to handle yourself in this kind of situation. It may not be in the racist kind of way. It may not be in a situation where that has just happened maybe in the plane. But if you ever find yourself in a situation where there's violence, maybe someone has provoked you, just like the white lady provoked the black man and slapped him. In that kind of situation, I want you to first of all compose yourself, because anything you say or do could be used against you literally. In today's day and era, everyone has a smartphone. Whether it's a Techno, whether it's an iPhone, whether it's a Samsung, anyone could be able to record what is happening, and sometimes people could edit videos to make the black man look like he's the one who slapped the white woman. Now, I watched many versions of this video and I found out that indeed the white woman slapped the black man. But who knows, in today's world, editing, videography, anything could change, and it's now shown that the black man's the one who slapped the white woman, and indeed he was trying to prove that he didn't steal her phone. Now, let's go to what the law actually says. International law generally, according to the United Nations articles or the United Nations charters, state that everyone has a right to freedom from human, cruel, or degrading treatment. Now, you may be asking, how does this come into a slap? The white woman slapping the black man was a bit cruel. And I'm also going to go to the laws generally, which apply to assault, which apply to battery, and also which apply to provocation. I'll first start with the United Nations charters. That was cruel and degrading treatment. The black man had nothing to hide. He even came and told her, come and check me. Come and check whether I indeed stole your phone. The white woman did not give the guy the benefit of doubt. She just went ahead and slapped him. And when he slapped her back, she now played the victim. She now made herself look like, you know what, this guy has slapped me. I can't believe I'm going to report you. Later on, it was found that her phone was just under her chair, just slid under her chair. So that was a bit disturbing. But for purposes of learning and for purposes of learning the law, I wanted you to understand this. Now, let's go straight to the point. What if this case was to go to court? Who would be charged with what and who is right in this situation? Number one, the woman who is called Karen in this video. Karen slapping the black man, it means that she will actually be charged for common assault. Now, common assault, I've discussed assault on this channel so many times, but for purposes of continuity of Simply Legal, I won't leave the link in the description below so that you can go and watch the different videos I've done on assault. However, assault is the apprehension of harm or the common apprehension of harm onto someone else. So assault may not necessarily be hitting someone. Assault could also be you're just scaring someone and you're showing them that you want to hit them, you're threatening them. But in this case, Karen actually went ahead and slapped this black man. If you actually watch this video properly, you'll find that it was quite unfair. So personally, if I was the judge, I would actually charge her for common assault. Now, many people may be asking, what about the other gentleman, the one who she slapped, the black man? The black man, by slapping her back, he can have two defenses. He can prove self-defense and he can prove provocation. Now, he can prove provocation because he gave the woman so many chances and telling her that if you've slapped me, I'm giving you a chance to apologize, but I want to teach you a lesson that for every action you do, there are repercussions. He slapped her after giving her 2 minutes for her to apologize. And even after that, she seemed like she was not remorseful. So the gentleman in this circumstance can actually prove self-defense. He can prove that he was indeed provoked. He was in the heat of the passion. So in the judiciary, in all places all over the world, they properly acknowledge being provoked. And many situations, so many men are they're being beaten in silence by their wives, by maybe other people, by their bosses, and they have no one to tell this kind of situation. Women also on the other side are also being beaten. So it applies to both people. But this public display of cruelty and inhuman treatment was not good. So that was a legal situation concerning this particular example. Now, how can you be able to protect yourself, or how can you legally handle yourself in this situation? I think the gentleman, the black man in this situation, did not handle himself also too well, because in some jurisdictions he can actually also be charged for reckless assault, or he can be charged for also assault by slapping her back, because there's a common saying that you should not take the law into your own hands. So in some situations or in some scenarios, that white woman who is Karen definitely is going to be charged for assault. The black man in some harsh jurisdictions which may not be impartial and fair, he can actually be charged for assault or battery also. But in a proper court and fair system, he will not be charged at all. He would say, you know what, this was self-defense, and she was actually wrongfully accusing him. So Karen has about 2 charges. She has common assault. She'll be charged with common assault because all her actions fit all the ingredients, and she'll also be charged for wrongful accusal or maybe false accusations. Now, in that situation, if it ever happens to you and in that kind of violent altercation, number one, if Karen slapped you, whether you're a man or a woman, calm yourself down. The fact that has been caught on camera, you tell her that, you know what, I'm going to sue you. But when you slap her back, even if you can plead that was self-defense, still any court can say, even if she slapped you, you could have let it go and maybe pushed her away, would understand that kind of action. But you fought fire with fire, and you also need to be charged with something. So in those kind of situations, calm yourself down. Ensure that you got all the evidence that you can. If indeed her phone is found, then she has all the cases that are going to be put against her: wrongful accusal, common assault, using insultive behavior. So that's how you can handle such situations. Then you go and report the case to the authorities. Most cases, you're going to report the case to the authority where either the plane company normally is, or the airport, or the country where she slapped you in. You could have landed in another country. So that's how you can handle that kind of situation. Now, secondly, let us go to number 2, which is the second situation which happened here in Uganda, which I found very interesting, but I think all of us can be able to learn a thing or two from that kind of situation.
Why do they like taking license?
So number 2 of what we can learn from 2023 and what we can use in 2024 moving forward. I found this very disturbing. I have done countless videos on traffic people or traffic policemen. What they do to people here in Uganda, when they find that you are, let's say you moved without a driver's license, or maybe you overtook now, or maybe you are over speeding, they catch you with their speed guns. When they stop you, they tell you, know what, can I have your third-party insurance? Can I have your driver's license? Can I have this? So even if you have everything, they'll tell you that, but still you are over speeding and I'm going to give you a ticket. But the rightful punishment under the traffic rules and safety regulations should be to give you a ticket or to give you a fine. Those fines are also strictly stipulated under the eyes of the law. They are not supposed to give you their own fines. Now, I saw this gentleman, I saw a video on Instagram Reels. I saw this gentleman, the policeman held him by his trouser in a very humiliating and embarrassing way, took him on the side, I think it was around Garden City, held his number plate, so he had already plucked off the number plate. If you go to all the facts of what happened in the actual scene, he plucked off his number plate, held it, and was also holding the civilian by his trouser. And to even make it worse, the civilian was not resisting at all. But what made it even funny is that he got his smartphone and began trying to record the policeman as he was doing it. Now, that entire scene was wrong from the start. Number 1, Uganda police, you do not pluck off people's number plates. That is actually very wrong. Anyone can actually sue you for malicious damaged property. That's number 1. Because instead of giving someone a traffic ticket according to their felony or according to their crime, either they're overspeeding, there's a traffic ticket for that. There's an actual price for what you're supposed to give them. Moving that to driver's license, there's actually a set, there's a set kind of amount you're supposed to charge them in terms of a ticket. So there's so many ways in which you can punish someone. When you pluck off their number plate, that is what's called malicious damaged property. So if we go back to the video, if you can actually see it on the screen, you see that this guy was is going to be charged for malicious damaged property. If at all this civilian is going to court, they're going to charge the traffic officer with malicious damaged property, number 1. Number 2, the fact that he was using excessive force by holding his trouser while the civilian was not resisting, then that is also use of excessive force. In very, very extreme circumstances, that can be seen as also assault or using excessive force while the person is not resisting at all. Now, for the civilian to actually get a camera and then start recording the policeman was trying to fight with him, trying to hold him, push him. So I also don't think that was right. You fight with a civilian in broad daylight where everyone can see and everyone is recording, and that is actually an insult to the oath that you took as a policeman. So I don't think that was right. I think in those kind of situations, if any of you find yourself in those kind of situations, you should be able to stay as calm as possible. The civilian trying to record the policeman in the heat of the moment, it wasn't wrong at all. He was actually doing the right thing. There was no other way he could defend himself. If he started fighting with the police officer, things would have gone very, very bad for him. But if at all, I didn't see the full part of the video, I just landed into on social media, but if at all the policeman was to grab the civilian's phone in the heat of the moment and smash it down, still that person can have grounds to sue Uganda police, number 1 for malicious damage property of his car, number 2 theft of his number plate, because a police officer is not supposed to take a number plate. That is actually looked at as theft. He's stealing something which does not belong to him. Even if this civilian did something wrong, maybe he didn't move without a driver's license, I'm not sure of the circumstance, but you should not take his number plate and take it to the police station, because there I know it gives police actually chance to ask for a bribe. So thirdly, by holding him by his trouser using excessive force, yet he was not fighting with you, all he was doing was recording you, that is also seen as a crime. That is, someone can actually charge you with common assault. You are actually using a lot of excessive force on him. Number 3, if at all you were able to grab his phone, that means you're actually fighting with him, and in some extreme circumstances you can hold his phone and break it down and crack it, then there he's actually going to sue you as well for damaged property. So all civilians listening to this, or anyone that can be in this kind of situations, if you ever find yourself under the line of fire of police brutality or anything that's happening to you, number 1, be calm. I think this guy actually handled the situation very well by not fighting with him but holding his phone and recording the policeman. That actually puts him in a very bad light, and it shows that, you know what you're doing is not right. If at all the policeman grabs your phone and smashes it on the ground, then there you can actually have all grounds to sue for, number 1, malicious damage property by plucking off my number plate instead of giving me a ticket, common assault, also fighting with me also amounts to common assault. You're trying to grab my phone, you're trying to take property which is not yours, and you're also trying to deny me my right to property under Article 26 of the Constitution. So thank you everyone for listening to me. I remain yours truly, Terry Kahuma. I wanted to explain to you exactly what you can do in these kind of situations. In many situations that happened in 2023, 2022 and the years behind, you can use these examples that people have gone through to be able to save yourself in future situations. I would never encourage fighting fire with fire, but please always find yourself in a situation where you can use the law to be able to defend you. So until next time, I'm your host, Terry Kahuma. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And most importantly, also, if you find yourself in these situations, please go to my legal mobile app called Fameron. Fameron is an app which connects people and lawyers together, offering a multitude of other services which makes access to justice very easy. If you find yourself in a situation where you're in a plane and a white lady slaps you, or any lady slaps you and accuses you of stealing her phone, please go onto the Fameron app where you can get lawyers that can help you with whatever situation you're in. You can actually speak to these lawyers. They can help you with whatever thing you want to find out, any legal consultation, and most of all, we have lawyers that can help you at your fingertips and at any time possible. If you also find yourself in a situation where they're plucking off your number plate, go to the Fameron app and call your lawyer and ask your lawyer to come and help out in this situation, and probably can speak to the policeman without you having to fight with them in broad daylight and you recording them making a mockery of the Uganda police force. So until next time, before I also forget, please check out these 2 videos where you can be able to check out my different playlists, either current events or troublesome legal topics which affect people's day-to-day life. Until next time, bye.